You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I've heard that all my life, and I expect you have too, because it's true. For years, managers, attorneys, accountants, and reserve study professionals have been telling homeowners association boards to get a reserve study and make adequate reserve contributions. But looking across the country, the majority of boards continue to nod their heads and say, yeah, we should do a better job of funding our reserves, and then not do anything about it. If they were a horse, you describe them as not acting very thirsty. Boards make the decisions that create the future of the association. But I think we need to appreciate that no matter how much we counsel and coach and remind boards to make adequate reserve contributions, nothing is going to change until they begin to feel the need. They need to feel thirsty. In our webinar, Funding Reserves and What Happens When You Don't, we tackle the challenge of making the board thirsty. We remind them that the board is responsible to care for the association. And with a few examples, we show them, even though the future is still a little fuzzy for them, it's pretty clear to someone else with a different skill set. Just because they don't see it clearly doesn't mean that it's not there. And those expensive projects like roofing or painting or asphalt that are a few years away, they're all approaching with unnerving pace. So it's a matter of connecting the dots. The board is responsible, and the expenses are real. And they're rapidly approaching, and they're so big that it takes years to prepare. It's like an airplane pilot who has to gain altitude to successfully cross a mountain range. If you wait until the last moment to prepare, it's too late. You'll crash and burn. In the webinar, we remind boards that in this situation, they're the pilot. They're not just a passenger in seat 23A looking out the window. The owners in the association are relying on them being up in the cockpit flying the plane. Without their hands gripping the controls, the airplane's not going to make it safely over the mountain range. Inaction has disastrous results. And a reserve study is like air traffic control, guiding the flight crew safely in their journey over their own unique mountain range of expenses, telling them what's ahead and helping them prepare. We also remind our audience that in other things we do in life, like membership in a health club or renting a car, the ongoing cost of maintenance is built into the fee structure. You expect your membership in your health club includes set-asides for new equipment, new carpet, and eventually a new roof. And you expect that your daily rate for a rental car is enough to pay for oil changes and new tires. An association budget is no different. It's an exception to what we understand as normal to not budget for known expenses. We remind boards that what they're doing by underfunding reserves is actually very strange compared to normal business practice. So in this webinar, we help boards see themselves in the role of the flight crew of an airplane, needing to actively fly the plane safely over a mountain range that someone else can see clearly. Inaction or failing to budget for known expenses just causes all the owners in the association, including the board, to suffer. And I think that in seeing their responsibility clearly and understanding that the expenses are known, they'll start getting thirsty for change. They'll want to take a drink. A link to the full-length webinar is in the description below. If you have follow-up questions, ask them in the comments below or contact us directly through our website. There you can get a reserve study proposal for your association or find other helpful resources in our articles and other recorded webinar material. Let's plan for your best future.